At the front, the Red Army's soldiers already knew that this was not a border incident or occupation, but a war. The Finns were putting up a fierce resistance, not deceived by the puppet government ostensibly formed in the border town of Territoria on 1 December 1939. This had been cobbled together from the few Red Finns in the Soviet Union to survive the purges, and was headed by the Communist International Secretary Otto Ville Kosonen. When the seriousness of the difficulties, the scale of the losses, and the problem of deserters dawned on Stalin, he prescribed his usual first aid: new NKVD regiments. 7 of them were set up to control the rear. Then he started to change the attacking forces' commanders. From the outbreak of war, it was clear that the strategic intelligence on both sides had failed. The Finns knew about their opponent's preparations, but not their extent. They concluded that their eastern neighbor was trying to apply pressure. The Soviets had not issued an ultimatum, and they would hardly launch an attack in the dead of winter. Finnish leaders tended to rely on the support of the West and Sweden acting as a deterrent. Few believed the rumors that the secret part of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, the mutual non-aggression agreement concluded between Germany and the Soviet Union on 23 August 1939, left Finland at the Soviets' mercy. On the Soviet side, there was a failure to grasp that this conflict would not follow the precedents set by their occupation of eastern Poland in September. Then they'd entered the country, which had already been invaded by Hitler from the west, with a great show of force, with tanks, airplanes, and 1 million men. They encountered little resistance, however, so less would have sufficed. This was fresh in the memory when the Soviets were making plans to march on Finland in November. One sign of their complacency was the appointment of the Greenhorn as the new NKVD intelligence resident in Helsinki. Yelisi Sinitsyn had only begun his foreign service earlier that year in Lvov. Another was the strict order given to the Red Army's troops not to cross the Swedish border. They should salute the Swedes at the Tornio River, but they should not communicate further. Only when Stalin's official 60th birthday, on the 21st of December 1939, came and went without a gift from the front, did he inform the frontline commanders that the war in Finland is a serious war, sharply different from our autumn raid, pochod, on Poland. Such an observation had certainly already been made at the front.